After observing the recent political events of 2022, the founding members of the National Democratic Progress felt duty-bound to introduce to the political arena a party option better suited to honest and objective analysis, an informed approach to voter decision-making, and fair representation of the issues that are important to the quality of life and living standards of the people of Barbados. We are a party that will support any government when it does well. We will never oppose simply for the sake of doing so. We are a party that focuses on policy issues, not personalities, but on performance. A party that is willing to support good initiatives by the prevailing government with the same enthusiasm that we will bring to constructive criticism of any policies or state decisions that we deem are unhelpful or harmful to the long-term security and living standards of the country. In this regard, we are presenting ourselves as a grown-up political alternative, not concerned or hobbled with childish antics too often present in the heat of political exchange as we've seen in the last two elections. We take this novel and we believe welcomed approach because we place our nation first, not personal advancement, but the progress of a nation. What is good for the country is good for us. When the government does well, it will be commended. When the government falls short of what we believe is best, we will bring our voices to bear, and not just with idle criticism, but with workable alternative solutions. As friends of all, we encourage and support any useful initiatives of the government. As satellites of none, we will agitate, challenge, expose, objectively and constructively criticize, harshly criticize even, wherever necessary, the actions of any government administration that doesn't place our country first, or that installs party interests and the business interests of friends above those of our beloved people. We are a party of difference, fiercely driven by a results-oriented culture, impatient for change, against corruption at all levels. We will bring awareness to change that. The NDP presents itself as the true and legitimate resurrection and standard bearer of the Errol Barrow legacy, a party that will actively engage in people development initiatives and policies, but that insists on individual responsibility. As a collective of peoples, organized as a nation, we cannot afford to compromise on individual responsibility. The NDP will be a party that facilitates and does for the people what they cannot reasonably or effectively do for themselves as a collective. And for this to work, personal responsibility is paramount. This latter statement is important. It is not cliché. We are not a cliché party, but is one of the pillars of thought that drives our creativity in constructing never-before-broached state-driven initiatives that directly provide solutions not just for employment, but for industry, that strategically coordinates actions to improve on a continual trajectory the lives of ordinary Barbadians. Hear these words carefully. They're intentional and specific, and you should expect to hear more about these specific coordinated actions for wealth creation for ordinary, hardworking people. The NDP is hereby soliciting partnership of service-oriented people of all strata, business, workers and laborers, educators, various professionals, the youth. We intend to develop a legacy patterned after and advancing along the Barrow legacy. Friends of all, satellites of none. We're not a special interest group, not driven by a specific religious ideology, but we are committed to ethics and moral right and country first. What we propose to do differently. We need to be importing technologies and ideas suitable to our size and economy rather than mostly consumable goods and services. By the distractions of consumption and entertainment, we forget just how indebted and fragile our economy and very existence are. And we feel annoyed that anyone might suggest that life is not good, until As Errol Barrow warned, one day we will wake up to find ourselves in servitude, owning nothing in terms of national assets in our own country. The NDP is remaining true to our nation's founding principles by retrieving and reviving the Errol Barrow legacy. In Barrow's own words in May of 1986, the Democratic Labour Party has an image that the people of Barbados would be able to run their own affairs, to pay for the cost of running their own country. But that vision is now lost on the current iteration of the DLP. That vision is alien to the BLP economic model of unsustainable borrowing, and borrowing, and borrowing, and advice from the IMF to remove more state-owned enterprises and sell out, no ambiguity intended, our national industries to foreign private investors. But Errol Barrow's original version is resurrected and revived in the proposals of the National Democratic Progress, the NDP. Our party will restructure the economic affairs such that we aim to pay the cost of running our own country, living within our means, and building an economically reliable future, rather than flirting and cavorting with the IMF, engaging in a cycle of precarious high debt, which puts morale-breaking obligations on workers with ever-increasing taxes. And now, up to our proposed 72 years of age before retirement with full benefits. Once upon a time, a government could function without a near 20% value-added tax. But now, wherever you buy something, up to 1/5 of your disposable income goes to the government. That is unsustainable for you, and you have to do something about it. You have to vote differently. We invite concerned citizens at home and abroad to financially support the National Democratic Progress. We ask the youth, especially, to join our agenda, to commit to service, discipline, and passion. Our country is just a few tweaks away from greatness for a small nation. We just need the right leadership, the right vision, and all of us pulling together in the same general direction. Come, join us. I'm Sam Licorice of the National Democratic Progress.